from New York. It's the show that is in line for the opening of Club Superstar and complaining about the music. Brew, you look more like one of the security guards rather than a club goer.
When I go to clubs, this is how I go.
You don't smile?
Shades, and I'm not really smiling.
Mean mugging.
I'm not really
letting
smiling.
everyone know he's not to be messed with. Second hour.
Right.
Time for the grand reopening of the most exclusive club in all of sports, a place where jerseys and sneakers are not only allowed but mandatory. It's the 2025 debut of the 12 superstars in the aforementioned Club Superstar.
Thank you so
excited.
much, Kevin Wilds. This is our 4th edition. And just to remind the audience of the ground rules, this was generated shortly after the pandemic when we were still in boxes remote from our house, because it was actually a Jason Tatum discussion.
Oh.
And it was that the word superstar was thrown around too willy-nilly. And that, like most basketball teams, 12 teams, 12 players, 12 guys. If you're a superstar, there's only 12 spots available.
It is what it is.
So if we have a new superstar, then that means an older superstar or previous superstar has to come out. So to let everyone know, level set where we were 1 year ago today for Club Superstar. Last year, the superstars were AD, Ant, Brunson, Embiid, Giannis, Joker. KD, LeBron, Luka, Shai, Steph, Tatum. Donovan, Murray, Kyrie, Wemby, and Maxey were in line. Maxey, what a playoffs for him. Kicked out had been Dame, Booker, and Jimmy Butler.
Tough one.
So for the premiere of Club Superstar 2025, let's see who's out, which means we know how many spots.
Oh, how many spots?
Embiid and Anthony Davis. This is sadly AD's second time kicked out of the club. He was in edition 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Kicked out for edition 2 and kicked out for edition 4. So Brew, that means we have 2 spots open. Any issues? I think Embiid's pretty obvious. He had to go because of the lack of you go.
No, I wonder, and again, I don't want to reveal the club, but can you remind the audience of any injury provisions?
Well, it's you can be injured and in the club.
Okay.
What you can't be is a guy who has lost superstar status because your injuries have prevented you from year over year being able to play.
Gotcha. Like,
So-
I'm happy
AD
Tatum seems to be in the club.
I mean, Tatum's clearly still in. He
Yeah.
didn't get kicked out. Yeah.
I'll salute you for, I was a bit torn, but leaning the way you went on AD. I was like, he obviously is a phenomenal player when he plays.
When he plays.
And even when he was healthy with the Lakers, we felt like, they're not really a contender, so he's a great player, but I'm with you here. He could get back in
Now,
next year, maybe.
what
but
helps
right
him
now, I'm fine with you
Was
taking
being
him out.
traded, being the centerpiece of a trade for Luka Doncic. That is superstar stuff, but him getting hurt right after, being hurt during the trade, hurt right after.
A good sign you're not a superstar is when you get traded to a new team and the entire fan base melts down.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
You know what?
Great point.
tough.
Everybody's like, you lost the trade.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so let's reveal.
2 spots open.
I'm surprised
there's
only
2
2
spots open. Let's reveal one of the rooms of the club. I gotta say, so this is the MVP room. Shai and Joker are there. What you'll also notice is Joker has taken LeBron's spot on the throne.
Wow.
Which, I'll be honest, is a little artistic license by our friend that makes these for us. And I don't really know exactly how I feel about it, but it is what it is. This is Nikola Jokic and Shai in the MVP room carrying
The
4
MVP
MVPs.
room is actually quite crowded in this club.
Well, but it's a
lot of people are going in and out.
Yeah, exactly. And more the last couple MVPs.
Gotcha.
This is what it is, and so it's Joker and Shai. We can reveal the Cancun room now. Luka, Giannis, and LeBron. None of them that happy to be there. Luka's trying to put on a brave face. These are all quite obvious, right? Like we have no issues with this.
Being the Cancun room seems kind of mean-spirited.
Well, it is what it is.
It could be more. I mean, Tatum could be in there, although he's banged up.
But it's that those guys that they have all been in Club Superstar every year. They're all obviously still superstars. All right, now if we go down a floor,
LeBron still has his wine glass.
LeBron still has his wine glass. There's your guy Jason Tatum. He's in a boot.
Hey.
Everyone's
He's still
gonna be,
in there, though.
Of course.
That's
He
right.
has to
He
still
should
be
be.
in there.
Absolutely.
It would be crazy to kick him out. And then on the other side of the club, also by himself, wondering, like, man, I used to have teammates in this club with me. Steph Curry. So there is no real surprises
No,
or
these
reveals
are all
there.
solid.
These are all guys we knew would be in there. All right. Middle of the club. Reveal. Donovan Mitchell.
Wow, makes the
Welcome to Club Superstar. I understand that it has been a second round ceiling for Donovan, but John Morant made the club once upon a time when he hadn't been past the second round. We've seen other guys do that. The fact that it was the best player on a 60-plus win team in these playoffs. In one of the amazing Pacers comebacks, he had another 50-point game that his team lost, that he almost won by himself. Yep. It feels to me like he's got to be in Club Superstar, so this is a two-pronged kind of thing to throw out to you guys. A, any problem with Donovan being in, and B, any problem with Durant not being out?
No problem with Donovan being in. But you've heard the phrase "old man at the club."
You
That's
want
KD.
Durant out of the club?
Here's the thing: is it club superstar or is it club legend? He's a legend. He's obviously a Hall of Famer. I mean, iconic, all that. But he's the old man in the club. He's
Well,
putting
LeBron's
up his,
older.
Yeah, but LeBron's still playing at a higher level. LeBron's still hip. He still hangs with the youngsters. He's cool and all that. Durant is looking out of place. Is he the only guy in the club that didn't make the playoffs this year?
Well, I don't want to
Probably.
too much, but the answer to that question is yes.
Yeah, he didn't make the playoffs. I think Devin Booker probably is a future Hall of Famer. So had a future Hall of Famer in his prime playing with him. I just think Durant is a legend, icon, celebrity, all that. But club superstar right now, no, it's a kind of empty number.
I have.
I got Durant out.
This is why the show works, because I do like the hardcore analysis from you. But I have
hate
a
to
soft
do it, but I
spot
think
in
he's
my
out.
heart for just aura.
Yeah.
He's a superstar.
Isn't
Kevin
Westbrook
Durant.
a superstar?
But
What
He
about?
lost it
See,
over-
what about Westbrook, Dame, Harden, Kawhi? I get it. They're not quite as good as
Well,
Kevin
that's the
Durant
thing.
was, but still,
but they're also not as good as Kevin Durant is. That's the
How
other
good
piece
is
of it.
Kawhi's not?
No.
Really?
No. Really.
I saw Kawhi playing in deep in the first round of the playoffs against Denver. I mean, I'm just saying.
I would trade
like
Kawhi
now,
for.
because of the injuries.
Right, but
I just Jimmy Butler. I get it. They might not be as good as Durant, but
No,
they couldn't even get in the freaking
Bro,
play in.
So it is not just legacy, obviously, as demonstrated by that.
I don't know
But
why
when
he's in other than legacy.
because I still think there is an argument that he is a top 15 player in the league. And
He
so
didn't make any of the All NBA teams,
But he
and
wasn't
nobody
eligible.
was like.
I mean, that's kind of, you know what I mean?
I don't
That's
think he
not
would have because
but
of
he
the
would have
record.
maybe been a fringe third team guy, but he wasn't eligible. But when we get to who's in line, we can find out who Brew would have in for him. And by the way, I should have said this off the top, and my apologies for not. Our artist for this every year is the great Jack Perkins on Twitter at Pure Hoop, spelled exactly the way it sounds. He's awesome. He does a lot of NBA-related artwork. He's done this for us every year. Now, the final room of the club. Brew was worried. Tyrese Haliburton, welcome to the club.
Wow.
It should be noted, not to pat the general manager of Club Superstar on the back, but this guest list had to be compiled the first of this month because of the artwork that needs to be done. And so that was before they had beaten the Cavs. That was before it certainly what had happened in this series. We just had a feeling Tyrese Haliburton was about to go on a special run. Didn't think they were going to make the finals, and they haven't yet. But Jalen Brunson obviously still in. Nobody's kicking Jalen Brunson out.
No, definitely.
I remember last year that was the controversial inclusion, but
I
you now
thought it was
agree.
premature.
And now Tyrese Haliburton, the newest member of Club Superstar.
It's a huge,
I'm
very
shocked.
timely.
Yeah.
The fact that you did that essentially a month ago, because I didn't think
Well,
you
not
was
me,
that
the GM
high
of the club.
on Halliburton.
GM of Club Superstar.
Yeah, I mean that's good foresight. Because I was torn on Durant because he is a legend. He's better than these guys I mentioned. I was just like, now. So I've had Ant, KD, and one more person.
When you say Ant, you mean Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis. Yeah.
KD
Not Anthony
and
Edwards.
Embiid.
Anthony Davis and KD out.
Yeah.
And Embiid. So I mean, you had Mitchell in. I agree with that. Brunson, I believe in. You kept it. You should keep it.
And Haliburton.
Haliburton, you had. The one guy I had.
Well, wait.
I had,
don't tell us, because I want to see if the one guy you had, because we still have to. There's one other part of the club.
Somebody can get in the club.
Yeah,
He's just in line.
In line before we show it. In line used to be almost a negative.
Why?
Where it's like, because you're not in the club yet. That was like Jalen Brunson would be in line and you could make an argument. Now I'm afraid, there's some guys their ceiling is in line.
Oh,
They would like to be in line. And they used to be upset about being in line.
So, we're going to show you in line for club superstar. Wemby, who's been waiting there for 2 years in a row. Cade Cunningham, Şengün, and Devin Booker. And the one person, he's got a book. And the one person who, if there were is on his way to then stand in line, but couldn't even quite make the graphic, would have been Paolo. However, these are the people who are waiting in line, and if the assumption, so I have a multi-layered question here for you guys. If the assumption is that Victor Wembanyama is in next year, and maybe you guys are going to say he should be in already, is Durant the obvious odd man out? I think Wiles are going to say Durant's in until he retires. I don't know who's feeling the heat.
In fact, that was what my list was. Wemby, which is an argument because obviously Wemby was hurt. But my argument was Wemby in, KD out. But that could go either way because of Wemby.
So Wemby's the guy you... Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to look forward to, since we're talking about next year's club. Unfortunately, and I'm a Tatum guy, I think being laid up in the club, nursing an Achilles is tough. So it feels like Embiid got penalized for basically not playing, went from MVP to not even in line.
Yeah, but so we gave Embiid... the problem for Embiid,
several years.
It was multiple injuries over multiple years. So there is the entirety of the club, and we can dust. I don't think
Tatum should be in question.
He's gonna be gone the whole.
That's all right. I think he's that level where.
Dust, Can we roll through some of the club superstar stats? Tell me when you have them. This is something
I got a few I would add, put in line.
Just real quick, here is all the guys who have ever been kicked out of club superstar. Anthony Davis, sadly, twice. But that also means he's the only one to ever get back in.
He could get back in.
Devin Booker was in and then was out, and it's now in line. These other guys...
That's kind of aged out.
So here's the other question that I have for you guys based on this graphic. Nobody even had issue with Ja not being in line.
I was going to talk about Ja.
Okay.
Ja, he probably shouldn't be in line. But this is a stupid take. I was about to say that one of the dumbest takes. This should inspire you.
Yeah, it's not a superstar.
But for real, he's kind of on the outside. Like we joked about, we had a full conversation about face of the league. That was supposed to be me.
Yeah.
Like I was the face. I had the shoe deal. I was the one that kids really like. Mm-hmm. So, and then do you want me to drop the bomb on it?
Yeah.
Who I want in the
club?
Yeah, who I want in line.
Well, let's go to the stats about who's been in line. Folks that have been in line, how many times they've been in line, and if they're highlighted, it means they at some point got in. So Ant's been in line, Devin Booker's been in line twice. He got in and then was out. Donovan Mitchell, Wemby twice. Wemby, nobody's ever been in line 3 years in a row.
Very young.
So that speaks well for Wemby. Cade, De'Aaron Fox, it also speaks to guys who, maybe we got a little high or I got a little high in the moment. Fox and Maxey, because of their playoff runs potentially. Şengün, SGA once upon a time was in line. Now he's in the MVP room. And now he's there. So who were you going to... My disappointment here is that Zion's never been in line.
Oh, it's
that
interesting.
Zion's never even been in consideration for club superstar.
He's never really in the layup line. That's the problem. He's not in the layup line very much.
What were
he
you
can't
gonna
be
say,
in the-
KW?
In the club line.
Go.
You want a superstar? You want somebody with some aura?
If he says LaMelo.
You want
This
somebody
guy says
with some
LaMelo,
butts in the
bro.
seats. LaMelo.
Okay.
I'm just saying, LaMelo. There's a point where, am I gonna be on the outside looking in of the club?
And the
Ja
answer
was
is
in
yeah.
the club. and he's
So you think LaMelo should be in line?
yes, I think LaMelo has everything you need.
LaMelo can be around the corner. I got a few that I think in line /
Please.
I do think Ja. There's an argument for Ja to be in line, and then Paolo, as you said, should be in line. Here's one.
I
that's
saw that.
similar.
I was gonna say it. I love it.
Line. He's around the corner. Chet. Chet is coming.
Oh, Chet.
Who'd you think I had?
Cooper Flag?
Chet.
I thought you wrote Cooper
No,
Flag there.
Chet. I think Chet. And I know I had Chet / Jalen. Like one of them. Right now, Jalen's their
Got to
second
be
best
of
guy.
age policy, so Cooper Flag might have to wait a bit.
Like late.
Yeah, we just don't know about Cooper Flag.
Yeah,
I mean, how good
Oh,
is
I
he
thought
going to
you-
be a superstar?
Oh,
I
I'm
think
not
he
putting
can be a
Chet.
star.
I would be.
Chet's around the corner.
I think Jalen Williams is closer than Chet.
he might be a
does.
little,
He's
a
not in
tad
line.
bit.
No, I don't think it. You saw they weren't in line. You guys want to know all-time club superstar stats? Here it is. All-time entrance into club superstar. 4 times. There are 6 guys who've been in it every single year. Giannis, Joker, Durant, LeBron, Luka, Steph.
That's right.
That feels right.
Harden we were in that weird Brooklyn Harden, I guess.
No,
Harden's not on.
Just-
He's never been in.
Think about it.
Nets Harden, Sixers
It was-
Harden.
yeah,
It's kind
it
of
was-
like
yeah.
tail end of Rockets Harden, I guess.
I mean, the last 2 years has been with the Clippers. The year before that was the Sixers. And then the last year with the Nets. Like,
Fatsu.
He just
No,
missed.
yeah, so
But he's a
Embiid
legend.
3 times. This is Embiid's first time not in the club. Tatum got in after Club Superstar 1.0 has been in since. AD again was in, out, in, out. Ant's been in the last 2 years. Brunson's been in the last 2 years. Dame was in the first 2 years and has been out the last 2. SGA's been in the last 2 years. Booker was in, I think, year 2. CP3 was in year 1. Donovan, Haliburton, new timers this year, and then Ja, Jimmy, Kawhi, 1 time each. So there it is. And if we can also, Dust, if you want to roll through all 4 editions of it. Club Superstar 1.0, we can roll through them quickly.
Oh, this is a legacy. This is like
Trips down memory lane. There's the first ever Club Superstar. LeBron in his throne, Ja dancing, simpler times. Giannis DJing.
Skinny Luka.
Embiid drinking, Shirley Temples, the whole thing. Jokic sad with just 1 MVP when nobody respected him. He was going last in All-Star drafts. Club Superstar 2.0.
Oh, Ant had that bright.
Yeah,
Ant's
you
got
see,
that bright,
Ja's seat is gone. There's money on the floor. Giannis's sign says losing is winning or something like that.
Yeah.
And Booker is in there. Luka and Dame are in the Cancun room. Tatum fresh in the club. Jimmy's drinking his coffee. Club Superstar 3.0, last year's edition. Brunson was new. Brunson was new. SGA was new. And Anthony Edwards was new as we got rid of Dame, Booker, and Jimmy Butler. And then this year's Club Superstar, the 12 superstars of the league. Haliburton, Brunson, Joker, Shai, Luka, Giannis, LeBron, Tatum, Ant, Durant, Donovan Mitchell, and Steph Curry. So anybody that's like watching shows like, who is it? Is he a superstar? Just be like, we actually know.
You know
we
what?
have the list.
For the first time in the 4 years, are there 12 superstars? Like,
Can I
I
tell you
really
something?
feel like some of these dudes could be out and nobody would raise a fuss. Like, I thought about Haliburton, and you know how much I
Yes.
love him. I was like, I feel about him almost like, kind of like I felt about Brunson last year. Like, he's about to be there, little on the cusp, but a little premature. I'm glad Haliburton's in, but some could argue a tad premature. Right about to get
the
in.
clubs never. You brought up an interesting point that club management discussed, which is it's always been, man, it feels like there should be 15
Yes.
guys in.
Yes.
We can only allow 12. what if this is a time where there's only 11 that have confirmed
And I think there's an argument about KD.
Why? And I think that for us, the hardest argument was Donovan. That if this
harder
long,
than Haliburton.
Yeah, that if this long into your career, you've never seen round 3. Like, are you a superstar? But his numbers are so good. His team was so good in the regular season.
VIP at the club. Awesome.
He's a life of the party.
Yeah.
You know, he comes in there and
there it is.
it out.
Club superstar.
Wow.
Good job,
Look
Nick.
at the lasers, which is
Very
good. And LaMelo.
Gentlemen, you guys did great.
Thanks, guys.
LaMelo's in a different club. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.